There is one highway in Austin that divides the entire city, literally and figuratively. And depending on which side of it you land on, your Austin experience is going to look completely different. We're talking about different vibes, different price tags, different terrain, different neighbors, and honestly, different versions of life. I'm Shannon Green, Austin realtor with eXp Realty, and I've lived in the city for more than 30 years. Today, we are settling the debate: East Austin versus West Austin. And more importantly, which side is right for you? Because here's the thing, there's no wrong answer, but there is a wrong fit. And that is what we are here to figure out. If you're thinking about moving to Austin, whether it be relocating from another state or just figuring out where you belong in this city, this video is going to give you a real breakdown of both sides. We're not going to do a fluff piece here. We're talking culture, terrain, commute, price per square foot, and neighbors that define each side. I'm also going to share something at the end that most people get wrong when they're trying to choose between the east side versus the west side. So make sure you stick around for that. Here's what we're covering today: the culture and vibe on each side, the price reality, and the lifestyle match. Who East Austin is actually for and who West Austin is actually for. Now let's start with the geography because that matters more than most people realize. I-35 isn't just a highway in Austin. It's a cultural fault line. It has been for decades, and understanding that history helps you understand the city even better. East Austin has deep roots in a working class community, which is rich in cultural history. Long-time local businesses, multi-generational families, and neighborhood identity that was built over decades. That history is part of what gives East Austin its character. And honestly, it's worth appreciating before we move into what it looks like now, because a lot has changed. East Austin today has transformed dramatically, and that transformation has been both exciting and complicated. We'll get into the price story in a minute. But culturally, East Austin has an energy that is very hard to see anywhere else in the city. It's creative, it's walkable in pockets. It has a mix of longtime residents and new transplants, along with small business owners, all living on the same block. Think neighborhoods like East Cesar Chavez, Holly, Cherrywood, and Mueller, which is actually a master plan community that was built on the old Austin airport. Mueller is in a little bit of a world of its own. Walkable, family-friendly, tons of restaurants and bars, lots of green space, and a really strong community feel. It's East Austin, but with a very intentional, planned vibe. Now, flip to the other side of I-35, West Austin has a completely different physical feel. The terrain changes almost immediately. You start getting into what's considered the Texas Hill Country. Limestone, cedar, elevation changes. It's beautiful in a different way. You have the Barton Creek Greenbelt and neighborhoods like Terrytown, Westlake Hills, Rollingwood, and then further out, Bee Cave and Circle C. West Austin is more established. A lot of these neighborhoods have been developed for 30 to 40 years. The homes tend to be larger, and the overall feel is more suburban, but it still has that Austin character showing up in little pockets. This is where a lot of Austin's established families and professionals have settled, and the school districts on this side are some of the best in the state. Okay, let's talk money because this is where things get really interesting and where a lot of people's assumptions get flipped. 10 years ago and more, East Austin was the affordable side of town. You could buy a little bungalow on the east side of town for around $200,000, maybe a little less. That is not the reality today. East Austin has been one of the fastest appreciation areas in the entire country over the past decade. What happened? Development, investment, desirability, all of it kind of collided at once. Right now, based on sales over the past year, East Austin has a really wide price range. And I think that actually tells the story better than a single number ever could. In East Cesar Chavez, homes have sold anywhere from $500,000 to $1.5 million in the past year. Cherrywood has an even broader spread, from $400,000 on the lower end all the way up into the $3 millions. These would be the higher end renovations and new builds that are happening there. Mueller runs around $400,000 to about the $1.5 million range. depending on size and product type. What that spread tells you is that East Austin isn't one thing anymore. You've got entry-level townhomes and condos right alongside high-end custom builds, all in the same area. So your budget absolutely matters when you're looking at East Austin, because what $500,000 can get you can look completely different to what $900,000 could get you, even within the same area. And here's the honest part of that story. As prices climbed, a lot of longtime residents, families who had lived there for generations, got priced out. And that's the reality of rapid appreciation in any neighborhood. It's not something to gloss over. If you're moving to East Austin, it's worth going in eyes wide open to that history. Now, West Austin. This side has always carried a higher price point, and it still does. Westlake Hills and the broader Eanes ISD area are among the most expensive submarkets in the Austin area. Based on sales over the past year, Westlake homes have sold anywhere from the $1 million price point all the way to the $6.5 million price point. That is a significant range. And it reflects the fact that Westlake has everything from a modest mid-century home that had probably been in the family for decades, all the way up to the broad luxury new builds. These are those types of homes that have all of the hill country views you can imagine and all of these high-end finishes that you see. However, and this is important, not all of West Austin carries this hefty price tag. If you move further west and a little south, you'll run into areas like Circle C Ranch and the Slaughter Lane corridor, and also the Bee Cave area. In these areas, the picture changes considerably. These areas have sold anywhere starting point around $500,000 up to $1.5 million for that upper tier. But you're still getting good schools, mature tree-lined streets, and that established neighborhood feel. And a lot of times plenty of space, but just not with that Westlake premium price tag. So the honest opinion on price, East Austin is no longer that budget-friendly price point that it once was. And West Austin is not a one-size-fits-all price tag either. It really depends on which part of the west side you're looking at. Now for the question of the day. For those of you that are thinking about making the move to the Austin area, where are you coming from? And what's the main reason that you're leaving your current area? I'm truly curious, so make sure that you let me know in the comments below. I want to hear what you have to say. Also, if you have any questions or thoughts, you can leave those in the comments below as well. Or even better, you can call, text, or email me. My information should pop up on the screen. Beyond price, one of the biggest practical differences between the east side and the west side is commute and access. And this is something people don't think through carefully before they end up choosing a neighborhood. So let's start with East Austin. If you're working downtown, near the university, or along the 183 Tech corridor towards the Domain, the east side can be surprisingly convenient. You're not fighting Mopac every morning. In a lot of the East Austin neighborhoods, you can get to downtown in 10 to 15 minutes. Now that's outside of peak hours, and some people even bike here. The trade-off with East Austin is that you're in a flatter, more urban terrain. You're not waking up to hill country views. Your outdoor access looks more like Walnut Creek Metropolitan Park, which is genuinely great for hiking and mountain biking. But it's a different outdoor experience than what the west side has to offer. Now, flip to West Austin. If you love the idea of being close to nature, the Barton Creek Greenbelt, Barton Springs Pool, Lake Austin, the west side pulls all of that practically into your backyard. That is a real quality of life differentiator, and it's hard to put a price point on it. The trade-off is Mopac, which in my opinion is not that bad. If you are commuting north towards the Domain or into downtown every single morning, Mopac during those peak hours can add a significant amount of time to your commute. But I will say it's gotten a lot better with the express lanes, but it is still a real consideration. Before you fall in love with the west side, I always tell my clients, drive that commute at 8 a.m. on Tuesday. Do it before you make an offer so you know what you're getting into. Because I truly believe that that commute is part of your daily life and has to be considered. All right, we've covered the history and the prices. Coming up is the part that I actually think is most useful. Which side of Austin fits your lifestyle? Because data matters, but that lifestyle match is what people look for every day. But that lifestyle match is what people are looking for and what they have to live in every single day. Now for the question of the day. For those of you that are thinking about making the move to the Austin area, where are you coming from? And what's the main reason that you're leaving your current area? I'm truly curious, so make sure that you let me know in the comments below. I want to hear what you have to say. Also, if you have any questions or thoughts, you can leave those in the comments below as well. Or even better, you can call, text, or email me. My information should pop up on the screen. All right, this is the part that I really want you to pay attention to, because this is where I see many people make the wrong decision. They pick a side on what they think sounds cool, or what their coworkers told them, or what they saw on Instagram. And then 6 months later, they're calling me saying something just doesn't feel right. Now, here's my honest take from being in this city for more than 30 years. The East versus West question is really a life stage question. It's not about which side is better. It's about where you are right now, career, your family situation, your daily routine, and honestly, what you want your weekends to look like. East Austin tends to be a natural fit for younger buyers and renters. People who want walkability, want to be close to that food and music scene, want that creative urban energy. If you're a young professional, maybe newly partnered, and you want to feel like you're in the middle of something, East Austin has that in a way that many neighborhoods in this city can't even get close to matching. It's also drawing investors because the appreciation story over the past decade has been strong, and a lot of people continue to see the upside there. West Austin, and I'm including Circle C, the Slaughter Lane Corridor, and Bee Cave, tend to be where families land. People who are thinking seriously about school districts, about having a neighborhood where there's a sense of stability and community. It also attracts a lot of people that are relocating from other major metro areas who are used to having space and quiet and want to bring that feel to Austin. They don't want to leave with their feeling where they're having to come from, so this is the place that they land. Neighborhoods, schools, the whole community thing. And then there's a third group, people who are a little further along. Maybe the kids are grown, maybe they're thinking about downsizing or simplifying. And for that group, it really varies. Some want that lock and leave energy that East Austin can provide. Others want that peace and beauty that the Hill Country area can give them. That's genuinely a personal call. So my advice, don't pick a side based on what's trending. Sit down and think about what you want your daily life a year from now to look like. Where are you going every morning? What does your weekend look like? Do you have kids, or are you planning to? What matters most to your day-to-day? Those answers will point you to your side of Austin a lot faster than any list or ranking ever will. Okay, and here's the thing that nobody ever talks about. And I think for a lot of buyers, it's the smartest move on the board right now. There is a sweet spot that sits almost exactly in between East Austin and West Austin, and it tends to go overlooked in this conversation. We're talking about the Central and South Austin corridor, neighborhoods like South Congress, Bolden Creek, Travis Heights, and the whole South Lamar area. Technically, these aren't East or West, but here's why they matter. You're close enough to that East Side energy to enjoy it on a Friday night. You can still hit the Greenbelt in less than 10 minutes. You've got South Congress right there, which is one of the most walkable, characterful streets in the entire city. And the neighborhood identity in places like Bolden Creek is genuinely special. And it's that old Austin feel that a lot of people are still chasing but can't quite find anymore. Price-wise, some of these areas are still more accessible than the Westlake area or even hotter East Austin pockets. But let me just remind you, they're not cheap either. What you're really buying in this pocket is access to both sides without fully committing to either one. So if you're going back and forth between East and West and you just can't decide, that Central South Austin corridor might be exactly what you're looking for. Hey guys, I'm Shannon Green, and as much as I love making these videos, there's one thing I love more, and that's helping families and people from all over make the move here to Austin. I've helped countless people make the move, so whether you're coming out next week, next month, or next year, don't hesitate to reach out. My contact information is right here on the screen, and it's linked in the description in case you missed that on-screen pop-up. And I look forward to helping you and your family make the move to Austin. So East Austin versus West Austin, let's bring it home. East Austin is vibrant, walkable in pockets, and has an energy that is genuinely unlike any other area in this city. The price ranges are wide, from the 400s all the way into the millions, depending on the neighborhood and the product that you're choosing. But what you're buying into goes beyond square footage. You're buying into a community that has a lot of history, a lot of character, and a ton of momentum. West Austin gives you space, some of the best school districts in the state, and depending on where you land, either the full Westlake luxury experience or the more attainable, mature, established neighborhoods like Circle C and Bee Cave. Price ranges run from around $500,000 on the accessible end all the way up to $6.5 million in that Westlake area. There is room in West Austin for a lot of different budgets. And your decision between the two, it really does come down to where you are in life, your career, your family situation, your daily routine, and honestly, what kind of morning you want to wake up to. Don't forget that sweet spot in the middle either. South Congress, Bolden, Travis Heights, and if you're still on the fence, that corridor is worth a serious look. And if you want to talk specifics, your timeline, your budget, your situation, I am a real person who always answers messages. Reach out directly to me, send me a text, email, or call. I work with buyers and sellers all over Austin, and I would love to help you figure out where you belong in this city. And I will see you on the next one.